So, once named the future of Malaysian comedy, Rizal Van Geyzel has gone on to forge a brilliant career as both a stand-up and a comedy promoter. Among his many achievements was the setting up of the Crack House Comedy Club, which became the premier venue for stand-up in Malaysia. However, having made jokes about his Malay heritage, Rizal found himself jailed, having been investigated for sedition at first and later charged with the misuse of mobile networks. I'm delighted to say that Rizal Van Geyzel joins me now. Rizal, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, thank you.
So this is an incredible story. I think you'll have to explain to everyone what happened. This is your comedy club in Kuala Lumpur.
That's right. So we were running for 8 years, fine. We even had some of the best acts from the UK come through. We were very lucky they had terrible agents. And we had one fateful open mic night where a lady who's signed up for open mic, she had a different agenda. She had no intention to be funny or to do comedy. She donned a hijab, which is a headscarf, introduced herself as a Muslim, said she memorized chapters from the Quran, and then she removed her clothes, which was really bizarre because I was in the back wondering, which chapters is this? You know, I've never heard of this before.
She's got her own edition.
Yeah. So she got her set up, recorded and uploaded online, and that just sparked outrage throughout the conservatives in Malaysia. And for the first time, we became popular.
So just to be clear, this as an open mic night, anyone can come along and do a set, do their own thing.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's difficult to tell if they're trying to be funny or not because they can be quite bad, the open mic nights. And this girl came along and she had her own agenda, like you said.
She had her own agenda. We did not know. I mean, even the police who investigated me, they asked me, they're like, did you not audition her? I'm like, the open mic is the audition.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's no...
Well, let's have a quick look at what she did. I think we've got the
God,
clip.
I have to relive the trauma.
So it looks like it could have been maybe a feminist statement because she's wearing sort of Western skimpy clothes underneath the hijab. But maybe she was trying to be funny. Maybe she was going for shock value or something like that.
She was going for shock value. She definitely was looking for attention.
Yes.
Now, if you looked at the caption, is written in Malay. It says "Acara menghina Islam." It means an event to insult Islam. So that already gave the narrative to what she was doing.
Did she put that message on the video?
No, she did not.
No, someone else thinks that this was insulting to Islam.
Yes.
Okay, and of course, if you're a conservative Islamic person in Malaysia, you might take the same view.
Yes, and you did not know that it was in the context of a comedy show, or an open mic night even.
Generally speaking, then, in Malaysia, would you say that there's a pretty good freedom of speech when it comes to comedy, you know, that anything goes on stage?
Within the four walls of a show, within the context of in a show in front of people who come to enjoy comedy, yes. But online, it has proven that it doesn't work.
So that's the problem, is when someone films it and it gets out there.
Yes.
And then, I see. And so you yourself, you were arrested.
I was arrested because I was the owner. When they found out, I was the owner of the place, and I have a Western surname, if you hadn't noticed. My surname is Dutch because my father he's of Dutch heritage.
Yes.
And so they pegged me as a person that was spreading Western liberalism.
Oh, so you're quite subversive, or that's what their view was?
I have no idea what that means, Andrew.
Okay.
And so...
Well, against the state or against the status quo, or...
there you go. Yeah. So they pegged me as the owner, and then they realized, they saw that, he's a comedian as well.
Yeah.
They dug up my content, and my content, I talk about my Muslim heritage, my Malay heritage.
Yes.
And they didn't, because like I said, they fed into the narrative.
Yes.
And they didn't at all see the irony or the sarcasm that I was bringing. I'm like, well, at least compared to her, mine's actually funny.
But you were telling jokes which they took at face value.
They took at face value.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and you're just talking about your Muslim heritage, and they took this as what, being blasphemous or something like that?
Being treacherous, being ungrateful would be one of the words.
But ingratitude isn't against the law, is it?
It's not, but you know, they pegged me as somebody that was trying to incite racial disharmony.
So what's happened now with Crackdown Comedy Club? Is it still up and running?
Well, the Crackhouse Comedy Club has been shut down, and we have no intention to reopen it. However, I should say that the comedy scene has actually flourished ever since this has happened.
Really?
Yeah.
So more people know about it
Yeah,
now,
so we were a sacrificial lamb
I see.
for something bigger.
But did the authorities insist that the comedy club be shut down? Is that why that happened?
They didn't just insist, they took action on it. They revoked our license.
Wow.
They revoked our license, they had the place taped up, and a few people came to vandalize the place, and it
Really?
got really serious. I was getting threats towards my family and such.
Really?
Yeah.
All over jokes?
All over jokes.
And how does that feel? I mean, to actually also spend a night in a prison cell over this. I mean, at some point, were you not thinking this is surreal? You know, the idea that I should tell jokes on a stage and I'm ended up behind bars?
Yes. Well, it was only one night, and it was okay. I enjoyed a short break from my children. But it was, at the point, yeah, it was quite surreal. I was like, oh, this, and I was sitting in my cell thinking to myself, oh, this is going to be great for my career now. I'm going to be selling out shows the whole of Malaysia, and it has done me good in that sense.
Well, you've definitely got something to talk about.
Yes.
I mean, that's the awful thing about comedians, isn't it? When terrible things happen to us, part of us are thinking, yeah, but I could talk about this on stage later on. And that makes it okay.
That's what the comedians in Malaysia, like family and friends were like, are you okay? Are you doing all right? Let us know if we can help you. Comedians were like, did you write material about this?
It's terrible, really. But, you know, it's still, I mean, it's all, you know, it's your experience, and of course you've got every right to make jokes about it and everything. But from our perspective, like, hearing this, we think, this is mad. We had a situation in this country where the police investigated a comedian called Jo Brand over a joke she told on the radio, and people were shocked at the mere idea of the police investigating. But had she spent the night in the cell, that would have been just major news.
Absolutely.
I mean, how did people react in Malaysia to this? Was it considered, was there anyone supporting you?
I had a lot of support. Obviously, online, nobody dared to support me because, you know, but there were, most of the conservatives, I would say, they knew it was coming, and that they said that what happened, what that girl did, was a good thing in the sense that it led to the knowledge of such a place ever existing in Malaysia.
But then now what's to stop you setting up another comedy club, or do you think that's just too dangerous?
Nothing at all. There is a comedy club currently running now. Another place has opened up. Like I said, the comedy has flourished.
Yes.
I just don't want to take the time to do it anymore, because that honestly has held me back. 8 years, I was looking after everybody else's career, and now I can do my own. Had it not happened, I wouldn't be here doing the Fringe.
So that's interesting. You've written a show about this, and you're taking it to the Edinburgh Fringe, which is the perfect place to do it. The show is called Arrested, which is the perfect title.
Self-explanatory,
Self-explanatory. And you're going to be there for the whole month?
For the whole month.
Have you ever done Edinburgh before?
Never.
So this will be quite an experience.
I will be culture shocked.
Yeah, I think you will be. But I think also the people coming to see the show are going to be so surprised by the story, by the fact that this could happen.
I hope so.
But you know, if you can make it funny, then all power to you.
That's the best thing, and what I love about stand-up is when you can take something tragic and turn it into something funny. However, in the Asian upbringing, or the Malaysian upbringing, or maybe the Asian upbringing, is we're not used to seeing that. You know, to the people who live very sheltered lives in Malaysia, they see that as airing dirty laundry. You know? So I honestly, I say I forgive my transgressors. I forgive the people who persecuted me. If anything, I would want to have a dialogue with them, not to win an argument, just so I could polish my jokes.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? So, well,
I mean, you say that this has drawn attention to the comedy scene in Kuala Lumpur, and that it's actually been quite positive. But do you fear that this could set a precedent where the authorities start looking for more comedians to prosecute?
Only when it's election year.
Right. Okay.
Other than that, they're like, it's okay. They cater to a small demographic, you know, English-speaking demographic within the metropolitan areas.
Okay. Well, do you know what, Rizal? It's great to hear you being so upbeat about this, because I wouldn't be, I don't think. So the show is called Arrested, Edinburgh Fringe Festival.
Yes.
So if people just search your name?
Search my name on social media, it'll be there, or you can go to the Edinburgh Fringe website. I'm part of the Free Fringe, yeah.
Of course, and just put Arrested in there.
Yes.
And part of the Free Fringe, so people can just come in and put some money in the bucket at the end.
That'll be great. It'll help me recover my legal fees.
Yeah. Okay, Rizal, thanks so much for joining me today.